Mobile action RPGs, my favorite genre, and one that I actually consider myself an expert in. Today I'm going to be giving you guys 15 of the best options of action RPGs on mobile to play right now, today. I'm going to vary the list, giving you a wide variety of different types of action RPGs, and I can guarantee you that there's one on the list that you would enjoy. Please subscribe to the channel so you stay up to date on the best mobile games that you need to know about. Now let's dive in. Arknights Endfield is the most ambitious action RPG on mobile right now, blending fast-paced, real-time combat with squad-based tactics and even factory building systems. You control a team of 4 characters, changing abilities, dodging attacks, and swapping between heroes mid-combat to create fluid, stylish combos. What really sets it apart in the hybrid gameplay loop is that you're not just fighting, you're also exploring massive zones and building automated production systems that fuel your progression. Visually, the game leans into sleek science fiction anime aesthetic with highly detailed environments and character designs, while the sound design mixes futuristic ambience with punchy combat effects. The fun factor comes from the constant loop of combat, exploration, and optimization. It's most like Factorio meets Anima ARPG, making it incredibly addictive for players who like depth. Undecember, one of my long-lost favorites. This one delivers a classic Diablo-style experience with heavy focus on build customization. I like this one because I'm not as much into the Arknights Endfield anime style. It's just not my taste, so I prefer something darker, like Undecember. Instead of fixed classes, you build your character using a rune system that lets you combine skills and effects freely, resulting in near endless build possibilities. Combat is fast, flashy, and very loot-driven, making it perfect for players who love grinding and min-maxing. The dark fantasy art style is gritty and atmospheric, paired with the dramatic sound effects and weighty combat audio. Its biggest strength is its freedom, though. This is one of the few mobile action RPGs where you truly feel like you're crafting a unique build rather than following a preset class path. And I think that the rune system that they mentioned is probably the best feature of Undecember, besides its awesome graphics. It's also cross-play on mobile over to PC on Steam. Now maybe you're looking for a more classic style action RPG, one like Diablo 2. Well, Anima ARPG is exactly what you're looking for then. It's basically a love letter to old school Diablo fans. It features deep dungeon crawling, randomized loot, and slower, more methodical combat pace compared to flashier mobile titles. The gameplay loop revolves around grinding dungeons, upgrading gear, and pushing higher difficulty tiers. The artwork is dark, gothic, minimalistic, with a focus on atmosphere over spectacle, and again, it has that retro look. Sound design is simple but effective, emphasizing immersion. What makes it stand out is its offline capability and zero pay-to-win feel, making it one of the most pure action RPG mobile experiences. Now, Diablo Immortal, this is my favorite on the list. This is a game that I've been playing since launch, and actually before launch, and it's a game that I cover on this channel on a regular basis. I'm a Diablo partner. I've been out to Blizzard to test out the new classes, and honestly, it's my favorite action RPG. And it's one of many good ones on the list, so let me give you the details. Diablo Immortal basically is bringing the iconic Diablo formula to mobile with smooth, responsive combat, massive multiplayer systems, and more. Let me be honest with you guys here. This game has so much content, more than even the newest Diablo titles like Diablo 4. For example, Diablo Immortal has PvE and PvP. It's available on mobile and it has a PC client as well. There is a ton going on here. You choose from classic classes, dive into dungeons, and engage in a large-scale PvP and PvE type gameplay. The combat feels incredibly polished with satisfying skill effects and tight controls. Visually, it maintains what you get to know from Blizzard, its signature dark fantasy style with high production value, while the audio design delivers impactful hits and epic music. The standout feature here is the MMO effects, the clans, raids, PvP systems, and a world where you can engage with other players. It feels like a full-scale online world rather than a solo dungeon crawler, and that's really why Diablo Immortal is going to stand out. You feel like you're there with other people. It is a very social game. The negative that comes along with this one is it is an extremely pay-to-win game, but you still can play it absolutely for free and engage in all of the content if you're okay with not being the best in PvP or on the top of the leaderboards. I think it's a great option, even for you free-to-play players. Torchlight Infinite. This is a fast-paced, build-focused action RPG that emphasizes creativity and accessibility. It sticks to the classic hack-and-slash formula with tons of loot, skill trees, and modifiers, but removes some of the complexity barriers that are found in other action RPGs. The art style is colorful and vibrant compared to darker action RPGs, and the sound design complements the lighter tone with energetic combat effects. The biggest appeal is how quickly you can get into the fun. Builds come online fast, making it incredibly satisfying for both casual and hardcore players. Now it's worth noting that Undecember, Diablo Immortal, and Torchlight Infinite all came out at the same time. The most popular of those three is Diablo Immortal. In my opinion, the best of those three is Diablo Immortal. But these three, Torchlight Infinite, Undecember, and Diablo Immortal, are three of the strongest ones on the list here today that don't really feel like a mobile game. They feel like a full PC or console experience, just happen to be on the phone. Where Winds Meet blends action RPG combat with an open world setting inspired by ancient China. Gameplay focuses on fluid martial arts combat, exploration, and narrative-driven quests, giving it a more immersive, story-heavy feel compared to typical action RPGs. Some of you may actually look at this and say, this is actually an MMORPG, because it does come across that way and it does have that feel. The art style? Well, let's be honest, it's stunning. Realistic landscapes mixed with cinematic martial art animations, and the sound design leans heavily into traditional instruments and an ambient world. It's actually quite beautiful. It stands out for the freedom of exploration and its storytelling for those of you that are into the lore, making it feel closer to a console RPG experience. But as I mentioned, it definitely has that MMO vibe and feel, and at times, it's a bit of a slower game. So if you're into the lore and stuff like that, this would be a great one for you. Ungodly is a darker, more experimental action RPG with a focus on brutal combat and stylized visuals. Gameplay revolves around skill-based combat, dodging, and changing attacks, leaning more into action than traditional loot grinding. The art style is gritty, almost surreal, paired with intense, heavy sound design that emphasizes impact. The standout here is its raw, hardcore feel, appealing to players who want something more skill-driven rather than purely stat-based. Alright, it's time we talk about Moco, another game that I love and talk about quite a bit here on the channel. I actually went over to Finland to Supercell headquarters because yes, this is a Supercell game, and got to try out the game and give a lot of feedback for the development of it. Let me tell you about this futuristic friend style game that has one of the best soundtracks if you're into, you know, that new age type electronica. So as I mentioned, Moco is more of a social and a cooperative take on an action RPG genre, focusing on monster hunting and team-based gameplay. You're going to explore vibrant environments, as you can see right here, take on bosses, and coordinate with other players in real time. The art style is colorful and modern with a slightly cartoonish edge, while the sound design keeps things energetic and fun. The standout feature, though, is the co-op focus. It's all about being in there with your friends, making it feel very mobile-friendly, monster hunting style experience. It's definitely a lightened version of a traditional action RPG, a take that probably many of you have never seen before. This one's out in its current version now, but it's going to be completely revamped into literally a whole new style of game called Neo Moco. We should be seeing that in just a few months, but you could download and play this version right now, today, and I think it's worth your time. All right, let's talk about Eternium, one of the longest standing action RPGs on mobile. It's one of the most polished, classic style action RPGs on mobile, offering intuitive controls like tap to move and gesture-based spellcasting. The gameplay, though, is straightforward but satisfying, focusing on dungeon crawling, loot, and character progression. The art style is bright, fancy with clean visuals, and the sound design is simple but effective. This is an old game, guys. It's been out for like 15 years, so it definitely has some age on it, but it wears very well. Its standout feature is accessibility. It runs smooth on almost any device and can be played offline, making it a go-to ARPG for casual play. It's one that I go back to all the time whenever I'm going on a plane, flying, or going somewhere where I don't have internet connection. It's definitely a great one just to have on your phone. Devil May Cry, Peak of Combat. This one is good because it brings the stylish combo-heavy combat that we all know from Devil May Cry, and they bring it to mobile. It focuses on heavy chaining attacks, juggling enemies, and executing flashy combos with precision timing. The art style stays true to the franchise with high-end character models and dramatic effects, while the sound design features intense combat audio and iconic music. The standout feature is the console-quality combat depth, making it one of the most skill-based ARPGs on mobile, and I do love the feature here that allows you to swap between characters to keep those juggles going with different characters all at the same time. It's definitely a great fun game that makes you feel like you're playing it on your console. Game of Thrones Kingsroad offers an action RPG experience set in the Game of Thrones universe, blending story-driven quests with combat and exploration. Gameplay leans into more narrative progression with action elements layered on top. The art style aims for realism, reflecting the show's tone, while the sound design enhances immersion with cinematic elements. The standout here is the IP-driven storytelling, appealing heavily to fans of the series. I would recommend this one to Game of Thrones fans. I do think there's better action RPGs out there to play that we've seen earlier on the list, but if you are a massive fan of Game of Thrones, you gotta try this one. Now let's get back into the anime with the next few. This one, Bleach Soul Resonance. It's an action RPG capturing the high speed of combat of Bleach while flashing abilities and character switching. Gameplay is fast and combo heavy, emphasizing timing and skill rotations. The cel-shaded art style perfectly mirrors the anime, while the sound design includes iconic voice lines and effects for all you that are fans of the show. Essentially, guys, the standout here is the faithful anime adaptation, making it a must-play for fans of the Bleach anime. If you're not a fan of the Bleach anime, though, again, just like the last one, there's better ones on the list. One of those is Solo Leveling Arise, another one from the anime realm, which focuses on cinematic, story-driven combat with progression tied closely to the main character's growth. Gameplay mixes real-time combat with summoning and skill customization. The visuals are high-end anime style with dramatic lighting and effects, while the sound design emphasizes epic battles. Standout feature here is the narrative progression system, making you feel like you're leveling up alongside the protagonist. Oniro. This is a more artistic action RPG with a focus on atmosphere and storytelling, and it definitely gives a more aged feel. This is more like a classic action RPG that you're probably thinking of when you clicked on this video. Gameplay tends to be slower and more deliberate, emphasizing exploration and narrative over pure combat. Its art style is dreamlike and stylized with a unique visual identity, while the sound design leans heavily into ambient and emotional tones. Again, it definitely has that retro feel, kind of like Anima ARPG from earlier in the list. The standout is going to be that classic action RPG feel that many of you are searching for, hunting for something that brings you back to the action RPG days of old. This is another option for that. Bladebound delivers classic hack-and-slash gameplay with tons of loot, bosses, and gear upgrades. Combat's straightforward but satisfying, focusing on fast attacks and progression. The art style is bright, fantasy-driven with flashy effects, while the sound design supports action with impactful hits. What stands out here is the simplicity and accessibility of the game, making it easy to jump into and grind in a pretty simplistic, straightforward fashion. Pascal's Wager is one of the first on the list that has a price tag, this one being a premium game with a $5 price tag. It's a dark, Souls-like action RPG with challenging combat and deep storytelling. Gameplay focuses on timing, dodging, and stamina management, offering a much more hardcore experience, and I can attest to that. This game is brutal. The art style is what you're looking for. It's dark, gothic with console quality visuals, maybe like PS2 quality, and the sound is atmospheric and haunting. Standout feature here is the difficulty and the depth, making it one of the most premium action RPG experiences on mobile. And again, if you don't like dying and having to start fresh over again, this is not the game for you. Crystal of Atland combines anime visuals with fast-paced aerial combat and MMO elements. Gameplay is flashy and combo driven with a strong emphasis on mobility and skill chaining. The art style is vibrant, stylized, while the sound design complements the high-speed combat. Here, the aerial combat is what really is going to stand out for this game, adding a unique twist to a traditional action RPG gameplay. I think this one actually looks cool, and how it plays is just different from many of the others on the list. Seven Deadly Sins Origin blends open world exploration with action RPG combat while allowing players to explore a large anime-inspired world. Gameplay includes combat, quests, and character collection. As you can see, the visuals are colorful and you could even say playful inside of this one, with a strong voice acting and music. Its standout feature is the open world freedom that you get here. This makes it feel a lot more like a Genshin Impact style experience. Now, if I could only choose 2 games from today's list, my 2 favorites. First of all, I would say Undecember. I love the depth that the game gives, and I like that there is no class system, that you could choose a character and build it out to be whatever you want, a hybrid of many different traditional classes. There's a lot of depth there. It has a PC client that you could use along with mobile. It's crossover. I really do like it, and I have for a long time. My favorite on the list is Diablo Immortal, which is why it's the game I choose to play every single day and put videos out for on this channel. I think that the game is always getting better. We're getting new classes and new zones every single year. The community's amazing, and I just enjoy the game. I think it's not too complicated where you can't go in and just have some fun, but not too shallow where you get bored. It's honestly the perfect blend for me. Let me know what your favorites were from today's list, and remember to subscribe so you don't miss my next video.